This may become a habit. This is tonight's prayer. And I think I'm going to title it Jam Up and Jelly Tight. Let me begin a stream of consciousness prayer to the Lord, to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Lord, once again, thanks to the skills that you have given me, that was you. I think my character, I'm pretty sure my character comes from my parents and your book. You know what I'm talking about. Uh, Things I'm beginning to recover financially. I'm getting my go bag and my ditch bag. Lord, as you can please, you're doing great with directing people towards me, assisting me. At times they're kind of wasteful. And this, especially, Lord, I want to thank you. I'm mostly just grateful. I don't really have any requests tonight. You heard my request of, was it last night? I did mean that. If you'll take all the demons, you can have me too. I'm not really a demon, but it'd be a small price to pay for all those that I love. Yeah. Oh God, that sounds messianic. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh man, I really do try to think about what I say. Anyway, Lord, thank you for the character that I got from my parents of not being a greedy pig and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure the same young black man who stopped over my shoulder, I could really just only see him on the periphery. He called out, "Hey, you need a couple of bucks?" And I said, "No, I'm fine." That's my usual response to it. I have a reputation here, Lord, as you know, of refusing money and food and all sorts of things because don't immediately need them or it overburdens me. I have to measure every pound, Lord. Please give me, that's my only request is please allow my recovery and strength to, if you could manage it too, if you could make them two pieces of my humerus bone come together magically, kind of like you did with my rib. That thing looked like an X-Acto knife ready to go into my lung. Uh, if you could hook me up with that, I don't know, that would really, because when the doctors see it on the x-rays, it's like my doctor, he already, Lord, when you gave me the first miracle, when you took all that bone, that interstitial bridging out of my spine, we got that on x-ray. We didn't know what to do with it because my doctor didn't, you're supposed to recycle the big x-rays, the silver. And Lord, as you know, as soon as he gives it to me, the evidentiary chain is broken. The ones that I kept in a special, for decades in a special box, watertight, airtight, they weren't admissible to a scientific body or in a court of law. So all we had was that final digital x-ray of all that interstitial bridge and all that bone just gone. And it takes something like that to really wake your ass up. I'm sorry, Lord, I'm talking to them. At the same time I'm talking to you. You know what I'm doing. But tonight I really want to thank you. The guy who asked me last night if I wanted a couple bucks, I go, "Oh, no, I'm fine." And tonight he comes back and he stops right there, right in the, and I'm going, what are they doing? And I put on my glasses and I'm going like, that's a nice looking Beamer. And young black man gets out, comes over, and just kind of walks up and I think he handed me a Jackson like right off the bat, and we were kind of beginning the introduction, and I went and made motion to sit down. It's a big bench here. It's every clinic in this of my healthcare provider has these beautiful, kind of custom ordered, made wooden benches that are exactly what I need for me to be able to. I really can't. I might be able to now. I managed to pull it off, but I was agitating the break again. The bone doesn't appear to has slumped down and maybe tried to reattach enough. Keeps occasionally I don't know. Anyway, if you could hook me up with that, Lauren, that would be really nice. But please just keep my strength on the increase and my recovery on the increase. I'm doing okay. I've recovered the go bag money I pretty much had to spend on the hotel. I'm getting about to the max. I'm at about 12 pounds on my go bag. My ditch bag, when I do finally get around to shopping, it's going to get up to about 35 pounds of stuff that I don't really need. That's why this is something I developed a long time ago. Go bag, escape money, and the ditch bag. Go in the nearest dumpster, the nearest ditch. Travel light, travel as fast as I can, get out of the combat zone. It's old tactics. So, Lord, I just want you to know that once again, the waitress of life may have dropped the toast, but it came up jam up and jelly tight. I'm really not sure the origin of that, but I think it's got something to do with toast. Because normally the heavy part would land jam down, is the way physics go. It's usually that's the way it works. So, and I'm pretty sure he's going, because I did in one of the quickest presentations, and sitting right next to me, he could feel it. And he asked me one question, and I told him, no, that's BS. And the philosophers that you BS, they try to just make you feel stupid. I spoke to him in terms, I only threw out a few technical terms. That really let him know I know the subject, and I hope he'll return sometime soon. That's not him. That's a different vehicle. I don't even have my glasses on. I can tell that's looks like a smaller. That was one of them real long, sleek black Beamers. BMW's come up with some pretty good range electrics. I think they got one of the highest range, like SUV electrics out there. Anyway, Lord, I'm grateful for everything, especially that last little delight of getting to kind of shock and surprise and teach in just a few minutes, because he had a commitment and came up on his smartphone. Kid ain't broke. He can spare a couple bucks. It's when he said a couple of dollars, sometimes they actually mean $2. And since he wasn't getting out of the car to bring it to me, I don't jump up and run for nothing. I told you before, I'm lame. I'm lame in my body, but not in the brain. You know that, Lord. So tonight I prayed for the return of, we'll call him Gator. That's what he likes. This nickname is. He had on a Gator do-rag. He's well dressed. Absolutely no fragrances coming off of him. He's stuff like that. He's properly dressed, nice car, seemed extremely well behaved. He wasn't, his eyes were, yeah, thanks for directing him to me. And here, approaching the eve of Hanukkah, Lord, I pray for all the children of Israel. I pray knowing that you're not an interventionist God, except when you have your own ways. Please bring the rest of the hostages home, and let's end this. Please help end the hatred, the demon-possessed people there in the Gaza Strip, and all those people that surround tiny Israel. And somehow they want to just bully in big countries with massive amounts of resources, and they got nothing to do but build armies to kill my people who you chose to convey the laws, the rules that would permit somebody to exceed that caveman, early instinct, of just the animal instincts that are kind of inherent of that kind of that basic neurological structure that you created for higher animals, that reptilian nub. Like if you've never dissected a fish or stuff like that, is you have like a spinal cord. That was actually my first class, was that I was going that, in college, and in biology was vertebrate zoology, because I really wanted to start from chordata up, spinal cords up. And that little round ball of that reptilian brain that's just has, that you've pre-programmed. And humans, all the only instincts we have are to grasp and to suckle. That's our only instincts, is seek warmth, grasp, and suckle. That's what I'm doing right here now, and I was breastfed. That's how strong the reptilian little nub is, the reptilian brain. So I've kind of been combining, grateful. Lord, I just want to tell you, I'm not an envious person. I envy no one. Lord, you have given me, thank you so much for the life I've had. You have shown me so many things that are so visually and intellectually amazing and overwhelming. I don't want to even begin to try to describe them. The free will you have given me has allowed me to roam around, ignore profitable opportunities in order to meet all these incredible characters. I made one about Ken Morgan earlier, the artist. It's started out as a child acrobat. I mean, by the time the kid was like 2 years old, he was already an acrobat. Certainly by 3, he was performing and making money for the family, feeding himself and clothing himself, and fine silk and costumes for the. I've met some truly interesting people and fascinating characters that are unforgettable. I've met, beginning especially with my mother and my father, some of the most loving, gentle people. And I wish I could be kind of like more like my dad, who didn't discuss religion, race, or politics, wouldn't permit any kind of indoctrination in his house. He would actually take off. Never mind. to allow mother to have religious conversations in his absence, but he wasn't going to be there. He'd go away for a couple hours, and it wasn't no honky tonk and no titty bar, Lord. You know that. You know my daddy. But if anybody's really got a chance, actually, my dad, he's got a chance. My mom, she's a shoo-in. Lord, thank you for giving me my mother. She's so Jewish, she really was. Lord, you remember my mom. She really didn't watch TV. My parents didn't listen to music. She actually loved washing dishes because that was kind of soothing to her. Because I think because we're related to her mother's illness and her kind of becoming one of the, house, cooks and housekeepers at a very early age and stuff. Her mother died after giving birth to my Uncle Aaron. You ought to know that one. You ought to know that name. Lord, gosh, my family has been big fans of your book for a long time. And I wouldn't call it fortunate you gave, but my parents, they were loving and they were totally free will. You were free to choose to be, as long as it wasn't violent or really nasty, not under my father's roof. And here on the eve of Hanukkah and Christmas, as the Pope used to say, he didn't say, I'll pray for you. He said, pray for me. He knew he had all kind of problems, and it was really, but I really do pray for everybody on this planet, even those that I consider to be hateful people. Lord, please, we need a little peace on this planet. I had them years in the 50s where behind the scenes there was the Cold War, and life was, picket fences and rose bushes and Ozzie and Harriet or the Nelson, and Father Knows Best, and it's like a golden age in American life. Lord, I'm going to continue to try to educate these young people who lack any perspective about what it was like in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and the turmoil and explosion of atheism and hatred of all authoritarian figures when, like little Jew boy Bobby Zimmerman said, Bob Dylan said, you got to serve somebody. Lord, I think you know I have served you well. I have explained a lot of your divine chemistry, and I am still and forever will be in awe of what you are and who you are, although those things don't really apply to you because you are the Alpha and the Omega. You're indescribable and undefinable. Pause. I think that's Selah in the English. And then Amen. Amen. That's what I taught Gator. That vibration helps to trigger the synthesis in prayer of arachidonyl ethanolamide. Lord, I didn't totally overwhelm the young man. I kept it short, just gave him a good taste, and he'll come back for more details later. The good ones really do. And I've already said amen. I'm just finishing up thank you for giving me the strength to give some of the lately. I've been doing a lot of long lectures to up to crowds of people. They're small crowds, 3 and 4. And I'm so grateful that you've given me the strength, because 10 months ago, I didn't have the strength to, or the motor skills, switching handedness to do what I say politely is, after aisle 1, there's cleanup on aisle 2, if you get my drift. The last 10 months have been a struggle. It's not as bad, but especially losing my strong arm, it's not as bad as the interstitial bridging or the reconstructions but it sure hadn't been easy. And I've found great comfort in, I know that you will at least give me a chance. I have a little fraction of hope that you will cut me some slack. I mean, technically, under the rules of man, it was what I did was legal, but in my heart, I know what I did was a very bad thing. And it still haunts me to this day. Anyway, to all my viewers, may God bless and keep you and yours. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Boxing Day, and whatever. Please be at peace. Please attenuate your avarice. Stop feeding your money into the military-industrial complex by buying useless tchotchkes and chintz and garbage. Don't buy that stuff. Give the Hanukkah gelt. That's actually another the cash, another. Buy things that are useful. Stop buying toys and stuff that can't be used. This is a really neat toy that allows me to, I will finish with this. Like I said, it's 60 degrees, cloudy, and yet this allows me to talk to my best friend who is 100 miles to the east of me, and he tells me that it's kind of like that there, but the air is a little damp, and it's a little drier here in the air. It's been a lovely evening. It's by now at least 10:30, and it's time for me to lay this old weary head to rest. And I'll probably be back tomorrow, but like I said, Lord, if you're still listening, if you want to take me tonight, I'm good with that. I won't be angry, honestly. I promise. Especially if you could take the demons with you. To the moon, Alice!